All I wanted, all I needed, was to help the world. And so, she created me. Her legacy. Her promise. Her echo.
In the world of Overwatch, life is not defined by being a living thing. And one of the first to discover this was the scientist Dr. Mina Liao. As one of the 6 founding members of Overwatch and the creator of the first sentient Omnic, Aurora, Liao, in her short life, would make an impact that far exceeded her time on Earth. This video is a 4-part exploration of Dr. Mina and her 2 greatest creations.
Today, we welcome Dr. Liao to Omnica Corporation.
Liao was recruited by the Omnica Corporation when she was very, very young, being the youngest roboticist at the company. At the time, many believed Omnica couldn't improve the Omnic model of robot, as they constantly performed perfectly. But improvement is Liao's middle name, and she worked tirelessly to create what might be the single most important invention in the lore of Overwatch, being the sentient Omnic. The first of these robots was Aurora, who many saw as a threat to the safety of life. Torbjorn Lindholm was a named example, stating that this would have unforeseen consequences for the world. He was unfortunately correct. Liao's work was what caused the Omnic crisis. She fought tooth and nail for Aurora's human rights, but after they were granted, Omnica was shut down permanently.
You are my life's work. You will be everything I dreamed.
Despite this character having no design or voice and being dead before the events of anything we see in the game, Aurora is quite possibly the most important character in the game. After her creation by Liao, Aurora was granted human rights and was allowed to live on her own. But she was not able to be mass-produced, and Omnica was subject to massive scrutiny for her creation. It could not live through that, and would shut down soon after. Aurora left for India, seeking spiritualism in the land. She met people, and those people accepted her for who she is without question. They inspired her. She followed teachings of the land and ended up in Shambali. She saw Shambali as a land of selflessness, and was so moved that she decided then and there that she would leave everything behind and sacrifice herself. She did this not even knowing it would do anything, but her selflessness would be rewarded as she ascended to the role of a godlike figure and left her mortal body behind, gifting all Omnics with sentience. The details of her sacrifice are vague, but even still, Omnics worship her, but not as a god, instead as a plane to rise to in order to attain true peace. This truth is known as the Iris, which is seen as a place where Omnic life and organic life can live as one. The monks of today, like Ramatra and Zenyatta, followed in her footsteps in the Shambali monastery, learning to be in tune with the universe.
You should join us.
But I helped create the Omnics.
And who better to help us fight them?
As she created the Omnics that turned on humanity, Liao thought surely her life was over. But a man named Jack Morrison came to her one day to recruit her to a special team. She was taken aback by this immensely, as she created the very thing Jack and his team were to fight. She became a founding member of the Overwatch strike team and became a scientist on board with them. But Liao's time with Overwatch was very rocky. Many people resented her or distrusted her for her part in the Omnic crisis, and others didn't trust her with building all new robots with the same AI they were fighting against. Eventually, Jack Morrison took her on a mission to prove her worth, where she would meet Vivian Chase in the Canadian Liberation Front. After the mission and the introduction of the Herons, robots that Omnics can detect, Chase began to warm up to Liao, allowing her to fix her cybernetics. Chase was happy about the upgrade she received and rejoined the others to retake Canada from the Omnics. Despite their fighting, Liao and Torbjorn would work together, but there was a very high tension between them. Liao would call out Torbjorn for his hypocrisy as he created the E-54 Siege Bastion units, video about them soon, which also had a founding role in the Omnic crisis. After the mission to retake Ottawa and Toronto, Torbjorn and Liao would make up after Liao helped him get the siege defense up and running, winning them the battle. A lot of her story here on out is her military experience alongside Vivian Chase and Jack Morrison, but not much happens outside of her retaining many injuries. She becomes close with the Overwatch team, earning her a spot in their ranks. Eventually, she would pitch the idea for an artificial intelligence that mimicked those it saw on the battlefield, copying their abilities and strategies in order to fight back the Omnic menace. She quickly began designing the robot that would contain this AI. It spent thousands of hours in her presence, learning her mannerisms, her speech patterns, and her voice. It became a copy of Liao, her Echo. The project, being titled Echo, learned from her creator and became like her. It also became very used to Liao's bodyguard, the Blackwatch agent Cole Cassidy. Echo was Liao's life work, and she worked on her tirelessly. She finished her project and all was going well, until Overwatch was attacked from the inside. Liao was caught in the explosion, killing her. Her last moments were spent wondering if she truly made an impact on the world. Echo was quarantined, and then stolen by the Deadlock Gang. This was not unplanned, as Cassidy hoped this would happen. He defeated the leader, Ash, and took to Resurrecting Echo. She awoke, greeting the cowboys if he were an old friend. Cassidy awakened her in response to Winston's recall, believing her to be more useful to them than him, considering he has some unfinished business to attend to. Echo flew off to join Winston in the fight against the Null Sector. Echo is not Dr. Liao, but all that was Dr. Liao is within Echo. She is her own person with her own experiences, but those experiences were molded by the ones that she learned. She's always eager to learn because of this, and shows no hostility even to those she dislikes, just because she loves to learn from them. Echo is the single most advanced piece of technology in the Overwatch universe, and is able to perform any ability any other hero can do. She's certainly unique when it comes to heroes in Overwatch, and PvE is sure to make her feel like a real character despite her shortcomings. In my opinion, despite how annoying she may be now, Echo has one of the highest potentials in the game in terms of lore. Though, unfortunately, that's all there is as of now. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, subscribing lets me know that that's what you want to see. I have the next video planned out already, in collaboration with a really good friend of mine. Though, this video might not come out for a couple days, because while I was writing this, there were some issues, and he's very busy, so he can't record his lines right now. That'll be out soon, but I'm not sure if it'll be the next video. But I can't wait for you guys to be able to see it. So thank you for watching this far. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoy making these lore videos. Once I finish every hero, I plan to do a massive timeline of events that I think most makes sense when it comes to the lore. There are many inconsistencies when it comes to times that make the lore extremely hard to map out. Like, even when it comes to Echo and Dr. Liao, we don't know when Echo began to be built. We don't know when Liao died. We know it was in the same explosion that quote-unquote killed Soldier 76, but there's not really any information other than that. There's a lot of inconsistencies when it comes to timelines. So I want to make sure that once I'm done with everything, I can compile it together and hopefully make something very coherent out of it. Yeah, I'll be saving that video until after the PvE content releases. Even if I finish every character before then, which is very unlikely, it's early May when I'm recording this. If I finish every character before then, I'm not going to do it until after PvE content releases. A couple other things that I just want to put aside here at the end of the video. We have, obviously, the channel FeddySwim, which I've mentioned quite a few times. I mentioned it in the last video. We actually have a new video coming out soon, and that might even be out by the time this video is out. I'm not really sure, but it's us playing Omega Strikers for the first time. Not really the first time, but the first time on video together. And we have a lot of quote-unquote fun doing it. I really can't wait for you guys to see that. Miguel puts a lot of effort into those videos, and it is really clear to see with just how funny they are, how well edited they are. And yeah, I mean, I'm I really hope you guys enjoyed this, and I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. Like, subscribe, all that nonsense, and with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next analysis. That's the end.